Hi, I'm Cy Verasang, personal injury attorney here at Herrera and Vera, and today's segment of the Law of the Jungle is going to be about basic information about personal injury. Today, I have my paralegal, Veronica Delgado, with me, and she's going to be asking me a series of questions about personal injury, and I will be answering them. So without further ado, let's get started.
Okay, well, thank you, Sai. I'm just going to jump straight to the questions. What is a personal injury claim?
That's a great question. I'm sure we see them all the time, those billboards as we drive to work every day and those crazy commercials we see on TV. But a personal injury claim arises when somebody is injured through no fault of their own. So basically a common personal injury case that everybody thinks about when they think about personal injury is a car accident. So you're driving your car, you stop at a red light and somebody crashes into the back of your car. And as a result, you're injured, and the liability obviously is not your fault because you were following the law and you were stopped at a stoplight, and somebody just happened to either be following too closely or not paying attention, or perhaps texting, and they crashed into your car, so liability is on them. In this situation, the person that was injured typically has a valid personal injury claim, in which case, there's more steps to that, but I'll just leave it at that. That's basically what a personal injury claim is.
Okay. What type of personal injury claim do you do here at Herrera and Vera?
Okay, that's another great question. As I mentioned in the previous question, car accidents is just one form of a personal injury claim. Obviously, there are a lot of different types of personal injuries, and anybody can get injured through the fault of somebody else in multiple ways. Car accident, biking, 18-wheeler accident, boating accidents, slip and falls at a local market. Wrongful deaths is something we do as well. I would say that's kind of a form of personal injury, but I guess the end result is someone dying. And also premise liability, dangerous conditions on the premise. And so here at Herrera and Vera, we specialize in personal injury. So we do everything. Basically, if there is a chance to help a family out and a chance to help their loved ones out, to get them out of a sticky situation, that's what we do. And so to kind of answer your question, we do everything here.
Okay, Sai, I have a question. So what if my friend gets in a car wreck, but they don't have any money? How do they get their case started?
Okay, that's a good question. So most personal injury attorneys, including us, work off a contingency fee, meaning that they agree to work off a percentage of the total settlement once the case settles. So once the case settles, for example, if it settles for an X amount of dollars and you agree to 20% or 30% with the attorney, then that percentage will come off of the total settlement in the end. So you don't pay anything up front, and that's basically it.
Okay, so just to be clear, they don't have to pay you anything to get the case started, and they don't owe you anything if you don't win.
Absolutely, absolutely. So because you agree to a percentage up front, that's basically the agreement. You don't have to pay anything up front. And then since if you lose the case, then the value of the case becomes zero, and whatever percentage you agreed to of zero is going to be zero. So 33% of $0 is going to be zero. So absolutely, if you lose the case, then you pay nothing. So clients are typically worried, oh, will I be on the hook if my attorney loses, or if I don't win my case? And that's a non-factor. Here at Herrera and Vera, if we lose a case, you owe us absolutely nothing.
So, Sai, what are some important things people should know about personal injury?
Oh wow, that's a broad question. So that's very broad. So we're gonna probably cover only a few today, because obviously maybe I'll cover a lot more in future videos, but since that's such a broad question, we're probably going to cover 4. One of the most important things people should know about their personal injury case is every state and every jurisdiction has a personal injury statute of limitations. Here in Texas, we have a 2-year statute of limitations, meaning that you have 2 years from the date of the incident, the date that you were hurt, to bring up a valid claim for your case. Now, that's not always the case. With 2 years is not always the case for every state. Texas is 2 years, but you might live in a state that might have a 1 year or 3 year statute of limitations. Heck, it could be something even further than that. So, yeah.
What if you miss the statute of limitation?
Okay, that's a good question. So typically, if you retained an attorney, usually it should be their obligation to file suit on your case. If an attorney files suit on your personal injury case, that will preserve your case and preserve your statute of limitation to continue until you settle it sometime later in litigation. However, if you do miss it, and just on a personal standpoint, and you just don't have anybody working on your case and you just miss it, unfortunately in that case, it just bars you from bringing up a claim for personal injury. So.
What are some other important things aside from the statute of limitation people should know?
One of the things that I come across all the time is I think it's important that people don't always just jump the gun and accept the initial offer the insurance companies throw at them. Oftentimes these settlements, these initial offers, are prematurely made. They're offered really early on the onset, and they have all the incentives to benefit the insurance companies and no incentives to kind of benefit you. They don't take into account the entire picture. They don't look at things like lost wages, medical expenses, future medical expenses, pain and suffering, things like that. So you'll oftentimes get these lowball offers, and I always tell my clients, don't accept these. And so it's always important, don't rush your case. Make sure you consult with the attorney before you sign anything.
What if I do sign with them?
Okay, that's a great question. Unfortunately, personal injury attorneys try to kind of avoid situations where clients do sign or come into an agreement with insurance companies. Now, an agreement could be verbal or in writing. If it is in writing, usually that's a tough one, because now attorneys are dealing with contractual breaches, and most attorneys don't want to deal with that. So usually in those situations, we try to stay clear of that. Now, if it's verbal, sometimes they're reversible, sometimes they're not. So it really kind of depends, or case by case.
So sorry, you said that the statute of limitations to bring a claim in Texas is 2 years, and you also said that people should not always go with the first offer the insurance offers. What other things do you want to talk about?
Yeah, so I wanted to kind of take a moment to kind of explain to people that their property damage is not the same as a bodily injury damage claim. So oftentimes when people get in a car accident and they're compensated for their car, let's say you get in a wreck, your car is damaged, the other side's insurance pays off your car, that they somehow think that that's all the money they're getting. Keep in mind that property damage is to be treated separately than bodily injury damage. Somebody might have gotten into a car accident and their car was damaged, but also their neck was broken. So in that case, the car would obviously get fixed if it's fixable. If not, then it'd be totaled out, and the other insurance company will pay for the car. And at the same time, because your neck was broken, you have a bodily injury claim for that as well. So people need to understand that these coverages are different, and these claims are also different, and they shouldn't be tied in together. And just because, and this situation ties back to the statute of limitations, so I'll kind of go back and talk about that. But let's say somebody gets in a car accident, their car property damage is paid off, and this happened 8 months ago, but at the same time you broke your neck then, and they didn't realize they had a bodily injury claim. And it's only been 6 months ago, but all of a sudden they reach out to their attorney. Well, they still have a claim there because statute has not passed. So that's just kind of one of the things I wanted to distinguish so people can see the difference.
So police reports, are they important?
Yeah, absolutely. Police reports are very important. So oftentimes when people get in car wrecks, the common thing to do is to exchange insurance information and then just move on, and then they file a claim. Now the problem with that becomes, if you are injured, you should always ask a police officer to come out to document the accident, because sometimes what happens is people will change their stories. They'll get in a car accident, exchange stories. You go home, you wait a while, or you go to work, and then you file the claim. Your neck starts hurting, and all of a sudden you file a claim, and you realize that the other person said you were at fault. Then it becomes her word or his word versus your word, and that situation could have been avoided very easily if a cop was out on the scene, documented the situation, and if you ever had to fall back on proof or something, the cop was there, and you can avoid the headache of he said, she said. So I think they're very important.
So there's obviously a lot of information to a personal injury case. Is it better to talk to an attorney first?
Absolutely. It's always smart to seek a professional to get their opinion on your case. Everything that I talked about today is considered general information about personal injury. It should not be construed as legal advice. It's always smart for somebody who is involved in a car accident or a personal injury case to seek a professional like us here at Herrera and Vera.
I get in a car wreck today. How do I get a hold of you?
That's a good question. Our numbers is 972-600-1313, and our Spanish number is 972-600-1327. Consultations are always free, and you pay nothing. As we said before, you pay nothing unless we win. That will conclude our segment today about the law of the jungle, and stay tuned, and we will have more personal injury and immigration content your way. And remember, it's dangerous out there, so stay safe. It's a jungle out there, so stay safe!